home safely tonight.
We obviously couldn't predict the outcome of the game or of the reaction of the crowds, but were you prepared? Do you believe your department was fully prepared for this situation?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a plan that we can escalate. We can escalate that plan as needed. That's exactly what's happening right now. We have hundreds of officers down here, and I won't minimize it, say it's not challenging, because it certainly is challenging. We've got people here who are really bent on committing mischief and committing criminal acts. And that's very unfortunate. We're not going to tolerate that. We'll be making a lot of arrests tonight. But right now our focus and primary focus is getting everybody home safely.
And what are your officers doing to disperse the still what looks to be hundreds of people at either end of Georgia Street that simply appear to be refusing to leave?
Sorry, can I get you to repeat that?
Sure. What are the officers doing now to get these hundreds of people who still appear to be at either end of Georgia Street, what are they doing to get them out of there?
Right, well the PSU, the Public Safety Unit, is fully engaged, so they're making every effort to get the situation under control. We have various tactics we can use to move a crowd and move them quite quickly. So that's what's taking place at this point. It's going to be a long night, We've got a lot of work ahead of us to get these crowds cleared out of here.
Has your department made a decision to undertake this in a relatively non-aggressive manner? I mean, I see your officers there in full riot gear, but they don't seem to be very aggressive. I don't see water cannons. I don't see rubber bullets. I don't see anything drastic. Have you made a conscious decision to not use those methods tonight?
You know what? We're following the plan that we have in place. That's been in place for some time. We don't manage these large events without being very ready and being, planning ahead for a situation like this. We hope it never happens. It's a crying shame that this is how our cup run's going to end tonight. But we definitely have a plan, and we're just escalating that and moving the resources around where we need to get to the hot spots.
Right, and I won't keep you much longer, but I do have one question. We did hear perhaps that someone had been pushed or had fallen off the viaduct. Do you have any information on that?
I haven't heard that specific. I guess you can appreciate there's a lot of information on the air, on the radio right now. All those details will come out tomorrow. Right now it's just a focus on getting these people head home and get out of here safely tonight.
And lastly, Constable McGinnis, we've heard reports of tear gas on Granville Street. Is that true?
It's very possible. I haven't had confirmation of that, but if that's a tactic that we need to deploy to get these people who are essentially criminals moving on out here or under arrest, then that's what we'll do.
And how many officers or other municipalities have been called in to help out? I understand you've made some somewhat late calls to other municipalities.
Yeah, well, we've had the RCMP here for the last 2 games, and they're here with us tonight, as well as some municipal police officers from around the region. So we're using all those resources. We've got hundreds of officers down here, and the crowds are spinning now, quite significantly. So working pretty hard to get it all under control.
All right, thank you. Constable Stantly McGinnis from the Vancouver Police Department joining us on the phone tonight. We appreciate your time. We know it is a very busy evening.
Thank you.
So you're continuing to look at our live shot. Those are porta potties that were tipped over and knocked down by this crowd. And interestingly, once police have dispersed some of these crowds, this crowd, as you can see, there are still hundreds of people milling about. Those young people going up to speak to an officer about what's taking place. People remarkably refusing to leave the area. This is from earlier tonight. This is outside of the Canada Post building, which is on Georgia, between Homer and Hamilton. A vehicle was overturned, and then several people from the crowd jumped on it, broke parts off of it, bumper was pulled off, side view mirrors, and then they set it on fire. And this is the fire and the smoke that was just pouring into the sky earlier tonight. As you see, there firefighters in to put that fire out, but it is just one of several fires that were later set, much smaller though than that fire. Now we're going back. We were headed to Chris Galis. He is not far from there, actually. He's kitty corner from there in a car rental lot. And that building, too, was under attack earlier tonight by several of these raucous fans who took aim at the windows in that budget car rental building as well. If you are just joining us, Vancouver, as you probably know by now, lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final 4-0 to the Boston Bruins. And at this point, the players' reaction has been completely overshadowed by what has taken place on the streets of Vancouver. Here, as I mentioned, that car overturned, and a young man there, not much older than a teenager, just one of the handful of people who decided it was a good idea to vandalize that vehicle. It was later set on fire. Now, we're not sure by whom.
Jim, can I jump in?
Yes, Chris, you can.
Okay, sorry, I'm here. I heard you mention what was going on down there. I know we're showing some pretty dramatic footage of what happened with that car fire. Catherine Pope, one of our reporters, was down there right on the front line when the police first started advancing down there, and she joins me now to talk a little bit about what she saw right down on the front lines. Describe what you saw when that car went up in flames.
Oh, it's just an unbelievable experience. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. Never seen anything like it on the streets of Vancouver before. And what was really disturbing about it is after it caught on fire, a bunch of the hooligans were like jumping around on it and cheering, and the whole crowd started cheering when the car went up in flames.